Hey friends, welcome to a new episode of the Ian Khan Show. This is an Aftershock special episode. I'm interviewing contributors to the new book Aftershock in this series. Today my guest is Moon Ribas. She's a Spanish avant garde artist and cyborg activist best known for developing and implanting online seismic sensors in her feet that allowed her to feel earthquakes through vibrations. Here we are with Moon Ribas. Welcome to the Ian Khan Show, and today I have with me someone who's literally connected to the planet, and we're going to hear all about how. Now, welcome to the show, Moon Ribas. Moon is a contributor to Aftershock. She's let's hear from her. Moon, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Tell me about yourself. Are you a human?
I am a human, but I'm not 100% human, I would say.
There you go. And that's the interesting part. Moon, you have such an incredible story, and I love the fact that you're trying, or you've done a great job at blending science, humanity, art. Tell us a little bit about who you are. Who are you, Moon?
Well, I guess I define myself as a cyborg artist, because my art consists in merging myself with technology in order to perceive the reality that exists around us, but we cannot get through our natural senses. So one of my main projects, it's the Seismic Sense. And for almost 7 years, I had some implants inside my body that allow me to perceive the seismic activity of the planet in real time. So every time there was an earthquake somewhere in the planet, I would feel a vibration inside the body. And depending on the intensity of the earthquake, the vibration I would feel, it was more strong or less strong. And I call this the seismic sense, the sense of feeling the seismic activity of the planet in real time.
And so did you have these implants like surgically implanted and at the bottom of your feet? Like, what was the process? Because what I also want to do as part of our conversation, we don't have a lot of time today, unfortunately, is understand what does it mean to be a cyborg, is maybe break the perception that it's very complex or not. Maybe it is. I have no idea. So let's go with that assumption. How difficult was it to become a cyborg, or how difficult was it to implant these sensors?
Well, it has been many topics. First, for me, being a cyborg is an identity. So I don't think you need to have technology in your body in order to be a cyborg, because some people, you can have different connections with technology. You can have a psychological union to technology. And some people have technology in their bodies and they don't feel that they are cyborgs. So that's why I think being a cyborg, it's an identity of oneself. And through my process about the seismic sense, it has been a very long process, and it always been changing and evolving. The first that I had, it was just a prototype that I used to wear permanently outside my body. And then after a while, I had it in top of my elbows, in this part of the arms. Then I did some implants there. And then after experiencing this for a while, I realized it didn't make any sense to feel earthquakes on my arms. And I thought if humans would have been born with this new sense, we would probably have it on the feet, because it's the part of the body that touches the floor. So then I decided to move the implants on top of my feet, because on the bottom, I don't know about you, but I have very tickly feet, and I thought it would be very weird to feel vibrations on the bottom of my feet. So I did it on the top, almost in the ankle. So I did in that area because it felt more prepared, like less dangerous there. Yeah. So for me, I guess it's always been an evolution and a transformation. Like through the experience, I keep realizing of doing it in one way to another. It's something that I'm also learning through the process and with the experimentation.
Yeah. And so here, I'm speaking with so many different people who contributed to Aftershock, and literally everybody is a futurist in a different setting. Some are doctors, some are scientists, some are research based, but you're the first cyborg I'm speaking with. You're the first person who's actually had an implant, who's actually had a device in their body, and they've used it to do something. Now, we, as I read your essay as well, and you've written a lot about, are we trying to make robots or machines more human? And there, it was a very profound idea right there in one or two lines, is should we try to make machines more human? And my question to you is that, are we becoming more human because of technology, because technology is expanding fast? Is it helping us become better people?
I I think that, for example, this idea of making machines more human, something that's what I think I wanted to say in my essay, is that there's a lot of debates. This idea of that if we make a machine more human, it's gonna be better, and there's gonna be like many like good qualities, which maybe there's a point on it, of course. Like, humans have a lot of good qualities, but there's also we also have very bad qualities. Actually, I think I want to step away of the idea of treating humans as the center of the world and the planet, and that we are the only species living in here. So my point is that we're not the center of the world, and we make very bad choices, and actually we are a species that we are destroying our own planet. So maybe this idea of sometimes glorifying the human species, it's nice, I think, to question ourselves also. It's like, we've been also a horrible species in our planet. We can be very horrible. We kill each other. I mean, we destroying our planet. So sometimes maybe this idea, I would like to think this idea that maybe not being human, it can also be good for us, because actually humans are not that good. And I think we have arrived in a point that it's necessary for us to stop centralizing humans as the center of the world and as the center of our minds and actions.
Yeah. So there's a lot of debate, and there's a lot of awareness that I think people like yourselves and other people, some of them I've spoken with, and someone I spoke with created a party called the Transhuman Party in the United States, and you probably know that person maybe. But there's an awareness that's growing about being utilizing technology as an integral part of human beings and our body, and how to work with it. Do you believe that maybe 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 years from now, like some people predict, it's going to be the era of singularity? It's going to be an era where part of our bodies will be a machine or a robot, and our presence and our bodies will be augmented by technology. What are your thoughts on that? I think we've lost Moon here. Let's see. She should be connecting soon.
Hi.
Hey, no problem.
The,
Yeah, don't worry. It's
yeah.
all good. So I don't know if you got my question. Did you get my question?
No, it was about. Is it okay if it broke? If not,
Yes.
I
Yep.
can ask. Yeah. Okay.
It's
Okay.
fine, and we're gonna edit it out, so no problem. So here's my question. My question was, there's a huge awareness of transhumanism, and I spoke with some people who even created a political party called the Transhuman Party in the United States. It's Zoltan. He's one of the contributors in the book, and so there's this greater awareness that we might become part machines in the future, 10, 20, 30, 50 years from now. Tell us about your ideas of how we could envision this future where part of our identity is more of our identity is machines or robots, and how what that world would look like.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's a bit of a natural process, as I said, no, because technology is around us already, and we're using it so much. So I think it's something natural that we keep finding new ways of interacting with this technology, and also like artists that we can use it in a way to experiment reality in other ways and understand where we are in other forms. So I think this is a natural process, and I think it will become more and more normal that the people will unite themselves with technology, especially like with younger generations. No, I mean, for us, maybe our generation, we had internet came in the middle of our life, but now children grew up using internet and having phones and devices. So I think for them will be more natural to have a more integrated way of using technology. And I think also for me, or my wish of doing this technology is that the technology allow us to understand better where we are, and if we understand better the planet and better other species and other animals, maybe our way of living can be more according to the needs of our own planet. For example, me that I have been perceiving earthquakes so intensely for all these years, it makes me realize how come we have been building such a huge cities at the very edge of the tectonic plates, that actually are very dangerous places to live. Maybe if we understand that actually our planet is constantly moving, we wouldn't have been building cities there. We would build it maybe somewhere else, or like maybe some. I'm wonder if animals would do that. Maybe animals were more were able to adapt better to the context. So in a way, it's like this thing of, for me, what I would like to is that humans can unite to technology in order to understand better, and then adapt better to the planet, and hopefully have more empathy towards the earth and towards other species, which I think it's already happening. I mean, before it was very weird to be a vegetarian, and now it's very normal that lots of people are vegetarian. So I think there's very bad things happening in the humankind, but also there's lots of more awareness and more empathy towards other species and the earth itself. So that I would like to imagine a future where people unite to technology, but not in a powerful, not in order to control others, but to have more empathy. And then this reminds me to a way, because usually with these technology conversations, there's also, of course, like people in power, they use it to control society. But this again is a very political problem. It's not about the technology, it's how we use it. So for me, also a very important key point of all these, I think, there's the hackers, the people that can hack technology. I think it's very important. I see them as a bit like the anarchists of our generation. No, like I think it's very important that people wonders about the technology that gets in their hands. Like you get this Mac or this phone, but you are able to question how is it made, and then maybe to change it and make it your own way. I think it's very important, and this also the hackers make, and then it belongs more to the people and to the society day by day.
Yeah.
And I think it's another way to question a bit like the system.
Absolutely. I want to read a passage. I want to read something from the book, from your chapter. So you've written, this new sense has given me a deeper and more profound connection to the planet. It's a very different experience to feel that the Earth is moving rather than to merely know it is moving. So this connection that you created with the planet through this project, and you were able to feel what the planet is feeling. I mean, I'm thinking, what if we could feel what the planet is feeling when there's more pollution, when there's climate change, when there's deforestation, when there are floods? If we as humans had this augmented sense and this added capability to sense everything, I think that would be a new level of consciousness. It would be a new level of being, I don't know, transhumans, I guess, or superhumans in some sense. I don't know if we will be there soon. I don't think so, because we're still battling today a small little virus called the COVID-19, and the entire planet has come to a grind. Literally, the entire planet has stopped.
Definitely. I think actually this many people say no, but it feels like the planet has already sent us a virus, so we stop doing whatever we do to be able to breathe more peacefully. Yeah, like so sort of like, what were you saying? Like the what were you saying before that? It's very different to, it's very different to know that the things are changing and actually to feel it in your body.
Yeah,
definitely. It has a more profound changing an environment.
So
if, as Neil said, no, if you can feel how the ultraviolet ray is damaging your skin, your way of going to the beach would be very different.
Yeah.
Because sometimes to feel it and to know it. And definitely, like the way that you experience reality can change your behavior.
So you just mentioned, we're talking about this feeling and the planet sending us a signal. So assuming you and I can have a free chat because we're both, we both think in a different way. The virus being a signal that the planet has sent for us to change our behavior, right? For us to actually experience this worldwide. Now everybody is experiencing not being sick, but the impact of this, right? We always talk about, hey, let's change, climate change. Yes, we will change it and somebody else will work on it. Poverty and all these social causes. But now when we feel the pain, imagine what the world would be if we felt the pain globally like this. I think we would be totally different people. It would just be a completely different world.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely. And sometimes I feel like I'm not even prepared. I did something very experimental, but very little. It makes me think, and I had it in my mind also, but it's a bit like, for me, the future, it's a bit like going backwards, but with the tools that we have now. Talking about again about this seismic activity and adapting to a very moving planet, I know that some indigenous already construct some houses that they were prepared to fall down and not damage because they were more in tune with where they were living.
Yeah.
So I think indigenous that they knew very well where they lived, I think that it's what we need to do. Like, we need to go backwards and we need to learn from other species and how another way of living, which I also have to learn. I mean, I live in Barcelona I have a lot, so definitely we not just need to think about it, but we need to practice it. I guess that's why now with this virus, I think it's real. It's not just a vision. I mean, we really have to go, but not backwards, because of course our lifetime is like this, but like how we can take the best of the past and do it and learn from our mistakes, and how we can deal with the technology and the resources that we have now to live it in a better way, stop damaging the planet. It's a very interesting time, and it's weird, as we said, like at the beginning of the conversation, because it's happening really global.
Yeah.
Like everyone in the whole world is experiencing the same thing. So in a way, this virus is uniting the whole world. It's interesting also because there's no how to say, like classes, like
Yes.
there's the poor, the wealthiest, races, anything. The virus doesn't know about this, and actually it's something that it's nice in a way. Everyone is treated equal.
So it's the great leveler. It's just leveling the plane. It's not discriminating against anybody, but it's creating this global equality between the rich and the poor, the healthy and the unhealthy, the men and women, I don't know, genders and nationalities. And, it doesn't discriminate based on your color or your passport or your caste or your religion or your creed, but it's just a great leveler, I think, in terms of doing that. Moon, I know we're almost out of time. I want you to tell me if you're working on something new. What is a project that you're working on? What are you thinking to do in the next, X amount of months? Tell us a little bit more about your work. Also, where can people find out more about you if they want to learn more about you? If you have a performance schedule that's coming up, tell us a little bit more.
So I am working into 3 projects now. One is like I'm working with 2 girls to create a jewelry and a dress that it will react every time there's a seismic activity. So it will like inflate and deflate. So I'll be using this in a performance piece, so people can visualize the Earth moving with this more robotic and electronic dress. So it will be like a live garment. Also, I'm creating a stage piece in collaboration with a contemporary circus artist like Kim Hiron and Kloska, who was a stage designer. And we want to work with the Earth itself, so to give the planet a place on stage and treat it as also as a dancer and interpreter. So, for example, use unnatural elements to interact. Also, with this idea of not putting the human in the center of the stage of the art. For example, to interact with ice itself and how the ice is melting and how we can dance together with this. And then the third project also is like I'm looking for a new sense to implant in the body, because since last summer I took away the implants, the seismic sense implants. So now I'm looking for a new one, and I want something that connects me to the sea and to space, because in a way I see these 2 atmospheres very related. It's something that we have very close, but it's also very mysterious. And and it's like you need other way of breathing and another way of existing to explore the ocean or to explore the space. And I went diving like 2 years ago, and remember like when I swam and I saw this deep blue space, I thought this must feel like going to space.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to a sense that it can relate to the water and space. So in a way, I'm kind of leaving Earth and going to other atmospheres. So
That's
this would
incredible.
be...
I am so excited and I feel so good that you're doing these things. It just sounds incredible. And I hope we're able to see some of your work, and please let us know when any of these are live. You have videos to share. Where can our viewers and followers of Aftershock, where can they check you out and check out more of your work?
I keep posting on Instagram, Facebook, and the website. If they put Moon Ribas, I'll keep posting whenever I have something new.
Excellent. And to all viewers, I really highly recommend buying a copy of Aftershock. I believe it's available on Amazon. And it's literally a book that you can read every single day and be inspired by what people have written and what people like yourselves, like Moon, has written about the future, about the intersection of technology and people. And there's so much content in there. It's really, really an amazing read. Moon, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for being part of the episode today. Be safe wherever you are. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for continuing to push the boundaries of human plus machine, not versus machine, but human plus machine and human plus technology, to really enhance what we are and who we are, and find out what we're supposed to do and where we belong. Thank you so much, Moon. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey friend, this is Ian Khan. If you liked what you saw on my video, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and be inspired every single day with innovative content that keeps you fresh, updated, and ready for the future. For more information, also visit my website at iankhan.com.